You survived what broke others. Yes, you survived what broke others. But do you understand why? You clicked on this because something inside you knows that your survival was not random, and I am the one who watched every tear fall, who counted every sleepless night, who stood beside you when no one else understood. Stay with me, because I am about to reveal why what tried to destroy you could not finish you, why the breaking point became the turning point, and how the very pressure that crushed others became the proof that my hand was holding you all along. You remember the weight of it, don't you? The moment when the pressure felt unbearable, when the silence was louder than any noise, when the disappointment cut deeper than you admitted to anyone. You saw others collapse under similar storms, faith shaken, hope abandoned, joy extinguished, and there were nights you wondered if you would be next. But you are still here. You are still breathing. You are still seeking me. That is not coincidence. That is preservation. When the betrayal struck, I was strengthening your inner foundation. When the loss hollowed your heart, I was carving out space for deeper resilience. When the rejection made you question your worth, I was writing your identity in ways no human opinion could erase. You thought you were barely holding on, but it was my strength carrying you when your own was gone. The storm did not bypass you. It hit you fully. The difference is that I set boundaries around what it could take from you. It could test you, but it could not terminate you. It could wound you, but it could not define you. It could shake you, but it could not uproot you. You ask why you had to endure it at all, and I tell you this: survival was the first sign of purpose. If the enemy of your peace truly had permission to end your story, you would not be listening to my voice right now. The very fact that you are still standing after what should have broken you is evidence that I declared limits over your suffering. I allowed the fire, but I measured the heat. I allowed the shaking, but I secured the foundation. You did not survive because you were the strongest in the room. You survived because I refused to let your story end in that chapter. And as you begin to see this clearly, you will realize that what felt like abandonment was actually protection in disguise, and what looked like devastation was the beginning of transformation unfolding beneath the surface of your pain. Listen to me closely. What you called punishment was actually preparation, and what felt like abandonment was the sharpening of your spirit for something greater than you could see. You kept asking why the road was harder for you, why the lessons were heavier, why the battles seemed longer than they were for others. But you were not being singled out for suffering. You were being selected for strengthening. Every hardship you endured built endurance into your character. Every delay stretched your patience until it could carry more weight. Every closed door redirected your steps away from what would have limited you. You thought you were being denied, but I was refining you. You thought you were losing, but I was layering resilience into your soul. You understand now. Comfort does not produce depth. Ease does not forge discernment. It is in the fire that steel is formed, and it was in your fire that your inner strength was awakened. While others walked away when it became uncomfortable, you stayed. While others surrendered to bitterness, you wrestled through confusion and kept your heart open. That is not weakness. That is transformation. I allowed you to feel the weight so you would learn how to carry authority. I allowed you to walk alone so you would discover that you were never truly alone. The tears you shed were not wasted. They watered a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more grounded than before. You survived because you were being trained, not tormented. You endured because you were being elevated, not erased. And the very experiences you wished away are the ones now shaping the depth of your empathy, the clarity of your insight, and the steadiness of your spirit. You are not the same person who entered that storm. You are refined, sharpened, and expanded. What nearly broke you has now built you. What exhausted you has now educated you. You are prepared in ways you do not yet fully recognize, and soon you will see why the weight had to be that heavy. Because the calling ahead of you requires that kind of strength. And now I tell you this: your survival was never meant to stop at you. The strength you gained was not given for isolation. It was given for impact. The comfort you learned to seek in the dark is the same comfort you will offer to someone who feels forgotten tonight. Because you survived betrayal, you will recognize wounded hearts and respond with compassion instead of judgment. Because you survived loss, you will speak hope with authenticity, not empty words. Because you survived pressure, you will become a steady presence when others are shaking. Your story carries weight because it carries truth. When you speak about endurance, it will not sound theoretical, it will sound live. When you encourage someone not to give up, it will carry authority because you stood where they stand now. I allowed you to walk through valleys so you could later guide others through theirs. I allowed you to wrestle with doubt so you could help others rediscover faith. You are not merely a survivor. You are a sign that storms do not have the final word. The fact that you did not collapse under the same weight that broke others makes your life a testimony of resilience shaped by my hand. And the next season of your life will not be about barely making it. It will be about lifting others who feel like they cannot. Your scars are not symbols of shame. They are markers of endurance. Your endurance is not an accident. It is an assignment. I preserve you because your voice is needed, your presence is needed, your strength is needed. You survived what broke others so that you could stand as living proof that survival can become strength, and strength can become guidance for someone else. Step forward without fear. The breaking did not define you. The rising will. And as you rise, others will rise with you because the grace that carried you will now flow through you. Amen.